Get a piece of paper out, Adam. That's a C. Yeah, that's a C. Centroids. Okay. Hopefully, angle bisectors should ring a bell. Okay. And we'll get to that in a second. All right. But we're going to start with the medians and the angle bisectors. Okay. We're going to first start with medians. So, again, chapter 5 is going to include triangles still. Okay. And when we talk about medians, okay, I want you to think about like how it's just right in the middle, okay? So that's going to be a line right here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and name this triangle, okay, name all of those points. Okay, so if I have this triangle, all right, and I say that AC is a median, okay, that's going to be able to help us identify, okay, some of the sides. So when we have that AC is a median, all right, and let's say BC has a value of 6, all right, and CD, we have to find that value, okay? When the middle line, so in this case, that it's AC, since AC is a median, all right, that means it's just going to like cut it right in half. Okay, so if it's a median, all right, if BC is 6, what do we think CD is going to be? It's also going to be 6. We'll get to that. Okay. So the median is going to work very similar as a segment bisector. So just what like Tanner was talking about. Again, if I have this triangle, all right, I'm going to name it E, F, G, H. All right. And let's say we have to pay attention on when we talk about the bisectors, because we're going to have angle bisectors and also segment bisectors. So if it says that EG is a segment, is a segment bisector, all right, what is that going to do to F, G, and GH? What is that going to do to F, G, and GH? Yeah, it splits it in half, so it makes them congruent. Okay, so FG would be congruent to GH. All right, and then over here, BC would be congruent to CD. Okay, we see what happens there. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about with angle bisector, okay? Because in these, we're also going to have the values. We're going to have the value of each side of the triangle. So I'm going to move up just a little bit. Okay. And let's say we have this triangle right here. Okay. And let's say those are the values that we're given and we do not have the value of AB. Okay. This time it's going to say that angle, or not angle, I'm sorry. AC bisects angle BAD. Okay, so angle A, or not angle, AC, so segment AC bisects angle BAD. All right, so this time it's not a segment bisector, okay? It's going to be bisecting the angle of angle BAD. So this time we have to set up a little equation in order to solve. Okay, so you will need a calculator for this part. Now, I'm going to show you the way you're supposed to do it, and then I will show you an easier way of doing it. Okay, so when we set this up, we're going to set it up as like almost like as in two fractions equal each other. Okay, when I do that, okay, the numbers I put on top need to be the same. So what I mean by that is if I put x right here, okay, and we see that x is this part of the triangle, if we look at it as triangle ABC, okay, and triangle ADC, we notice that x and 10 are going to be similar, okay? It's if you just flipped it, that's what it would look like. So if I put x on top, I need to put 10 on top. All right? Then if you look at those individual triangles again, all right? If you look at ABC, okay, 7 is going to be on the same triangle as x, so I'm going to put that underneath x. All right? So what do you think I'm going to put underneath 10? 8. Okay? Now I have x over 7 equals 10 over 8, and I need to solve for x. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply. So when we cross multiply, we're going to do 7 times 10 and x times 8. So what's 7 times 10? Equals x times 8? 8x. And then what do we have to do? Divide by 8. So then it's going to say simplify to the nearest tenth, so we should get x equals what? 8.8. Okay, because it's 8.75, so we need to do 8.8. All right, do we see how we got that? Now, that's the proper way of doing it, but what if I told you you don't really need to set it up and set up this whole equation? So again, let's say I have this triangle right here. Okay, and I got the same triangle right here, and let's say this time we're finding this segment right here. All right, let's say this is 12, this is 13, and this is 9. Now again, we're going to say that AC bisects angle BAD. Now, instead of setting it up in the equation, what we can just do is we can just look at the image and cross multiply from there. Okay, so if I just look at the image, I can just do my cross multiplication right here. So I can just do 9 times 12, 13 times x. Okay, and if you set it up in the equation, it would be the same exact thing. So who can tell me what 9 times 12 is? It's what? 108 equals 13x. What's 108 divided by 13? 8.3. And then that's our answer. Okay? Do we have any questions on that? So let's look at some examples. Okay, so let's look at this first one. If I can zoom in. There we go. So this first one, it says, segment BD bisects angle ABC. Okay, so this time it's bisecting the angle, so we have to pay attention. When it's bisecting the angle, what do we do? If it bisects the angle. No, how are we going to solve this one? That's what I'm kind of asking. Remember, what do we talk about when it bisects an angle? Yeah, we got to cross multiply. Okay, so on this one, I don't have to set it up. I can just cross multiply. So what am I going to multiply 17 times? 11 and x times. So what's 17 times 11? Equals 10x. And then divided by 10, and what should I get? Perfect. All right. Let's look at this one. This one says segment BD is a median. All right. When BD is a median, what does that do? What do we say? What does it do? It cuts CA in half. So if CD is 5, what's X? Perfect. All right, that's simple. All right, what about this one? This one says segment BD bisects AC. What does it do on this one? Yeah, it splits it in half again. So if DC is 8, what's X? 8. Okay? Do this one on your own. And pay attention to what it says. All right, solve this one. What'd you get? Okay. I just don't have my calculator up here. All right, on this one, are CD and DA congruent? So should I get X equals 4? No. Why not? What do I need to do to solve this one? I got to cross multiply on this one because it bisects the angle. So what's 4 times 9? Equals 8x. And what's 36 divided by 8? Perfect. Okay, do we have questions about those? All right, then let's talk about centroids. Okay, there's going to be a lot that happens with centroids, so make sure that we're paying attention here. Okay, when we are talking about centroids, okay, it's going to look something like this, okay? No. They're all supposed to be straight lines, but obviously that didn't work out. So when we talk about centroids, okay, the centroid is going to be the very point in the middle. Okay? So what's happening with this triangle is this triangle has 3 medians. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and name all of our points. And then G is going to be that centroid. Okay? Now, all our medians, so our medians are going to be AD, CF, and BE. Okay? Now, what do we talk about above with the medians? What do the medians do? Yeah, it splits it in half. So if I say AD is a median, what does that do to CE? Yeah, it splits CE in half. So CD is going to be congruent to DE. Okay? Well, that's going to happen the same for CF. Okay? FE is going to be congruent to AF. All right? And then same for BE. AB is going to be congruent to CB. Okay? So we're going to have a lot of congruent sides here. So if I say AF has a value of 6, what's FE going to be? 6. What if I said AC is a value of 18? What's AB going to be? 9. Okay? If DE was 4, what's CD? 4. Okay? You'll have questions like that. Okay? Just know that they're congruent. Okay? And if you get the whole length, you divide by 2. Okay? Here's going to be the tricky part, is we're going to be able to identify the values of the medians themselves as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just draw a whole new triangle. All right, and I'm going to draw a big one. It's going to be the same thing. So if you want to keep that image that you have, that works. Okay, so we have to pay attention, all right, on what lines that we're going to be talking about, okay? Because if we talk about the medians, we said like AD is a median, okay? But AD is going to have two separate segments, AG, and it's going to have GD as well, okay? We have to identify that B, F, and D, okay? We can all think of those as midpoints, okay? Because it splits it right in half. So those can be midpoints of those sides of the triangle. Now, let's say AD has a value of 21. All right. We need to find, all right, the values of AG and GD. Okay. When AD equals 21. Now, AD is going to be the whole value. All right. That whole value of the median. Now, in order to figure this out, okay, here's how you're going to be able to identify what value AG and GD are, okay? The segment that comes from the midpoint, all right? So since D is the midpoint, I'm going to be talking about the segment GD, okay? Because D is the midpoint. We're talking about A, that's coming from the angle. Now, GD is going to be 1/3 of the value of the whole median, okay? So if GD is 1/3 of the value, what do we think AG is? It's going to be 2/3. Okay? So now, if I have the whole value is 21, okay, how can I figure out and solve for GE? Or GD, sorry. And how do you do that? You just divide by 3. So 21 divided by 3 is 7. Okay? So my value for GD is going to be 7. All right? So GD equals 7 because we just divided by 3. Now, how can I figure out what my AG is? You could do that, or if 1/3 of the value is 7 and we need to find 2/3, let's just multiply this times 2. So what's 7 times 2? 14. All right? Is 14 plus 7 21? Perfect. We're good then. So that means we found those two values. All right? Now, let's say this time, all right, what if I said GF equals 4, find CG and CF. Okay? So on this one, all right, GF, all right, I have is a value of 4. All right? How can I figure out what CG is? Nope. Because one of them has to be 1/3, one has to be 2/3. Yeah, Maggie? Correct, yeah. This is going to be the 1/3 value because F is that midpoint. All right? Because when it comes from the midpoint, that value is going to be the 1/3 length. So, if that's the 1/3 length, then what's CG? It's going to be 8 because that's the 2/3. So we just multiply that times 2, and CG equals 8. Now I have CG and GF. How do I find CF? Just add them together. So what do we get for CF? 12. Perfect. Okay. Let me just go ahead. Let's write 12 there. All right, now let's say, this time I'm going to say GE equals, 13. Okay, GE equals 13. We need to find BG and BE. Okay, so this time I have GE equals 13. Now, this is going to be on the inside. It's not the full length. Is this going to be my 2/3 or my 1/3 length? And how do I know it's my 2/3? Because it comes from the angle. Now, I have my 2/3 length. All right, let's find our 1/3 length. Okay, so if we have our 2/3, how can I find the 1/3 length? Divided by 2. So what's 13 divided by 2? 6.5. Okay, so sometimes you might have decimals. Okay, so if BG is 6.5, then how can I find what BE equals? Add them together, and what do we get? 19.5. Okay, perfect. All right, do we have any questions on that? Yeah. When it comes from, see how all of these, like it's the midpoint? All right, it's not coming from an angle. That length from the midpoint to the middle is the 1/3. When it comes from the angle, it's 2/3. Okay? Now I'm going to draw a triangle, all right, and I'm going to put some values, and you have to find the rest of the values. Okay? I'll just draw this. Oops, that's fine. Mm-hmm. All right, that's all I'm going to give you. I want you to find the rest of what I'm putting right here. All right, find all those values. This is all yours, Matthias. Or that's Liam. Oh, okay. All right, I'll give you like 30 more seconds to finish. All right, let's talk about this. Okay. Rocco, what did you get for LM? Say that one more time. Oh, 6. Okay. I heard you say X. I was like, what? Okay, 6. All right, perfect. Tanner, what did you get for TM? 18. All right, Carrie, what did you get for SL? 16. All right. Matthias, what did you get for LQ? Okay, I'll come back to you. All right, Liam, what did you get for LQ? Caleb? Cooper? LQ? Okay, 8. Julian? LO? So you didn't do this one. Steven? LO? Is that right? Okay. Then why do you question yourself, Julian? What? Adam, what did you get for BO? 9? Trenton? TS? PS? Maddie? And then MO? 12. Okay. Do we have any questions on this? All right. That's all we did today. Okay. We had class on Thursday. Okay. I extended that homework assignment to make it due today because I know some of you did not finish it. Okay. So if you did not finish it, finish that today. That's due today.